The macro picture is clear. The altcoins lost a lot in the last few months, but is this potentially an opportunity to buy low? In the end, it's all about buying low where nobody wants to buy, selling high afterwards. Let's have a look at Chainlink. Chainlink is one of the most depressed assets recently. Now what we've got over here is total 3. So this is the market cap of all cryptocurrencies that are not Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is the altcoins, and they lost on average 33% since December of last year. Now the altcoin market relative to Bitcoin and Ethereum is already contracting since January of 2022. So the alts that are not in the top 10 underperformed the rest of the market by 58%. And so Chainlink is up for grabs. The Link token is now at $12 and it tends to go in cycles, right? Sometimes we are high, sometimes we are low. Now we are low, but have a look at this price chart relative to the market cap chart. Now, isn't that interesting? There is a bit of a difference here. It seems like the market cap peaked at very similar levels to April of 2021 at around 15 billion. The price, though, did not recover as much. And why is that? The answer is token inflation. It's more Link tokens that are circulating now compared to a few years ago. Here are the Chainlink tokens over time. Initially, there were only 350 million Link tokens. Now we are at 588 million. Who gets all of those additional tokens? The answer is the team. So the team dumps on Link over time. And that then explains why Chainlink tends to underperform Bitcoin most of the time. So this is the Link price relative to BTC. Sometimes we get bullish news of an integration of Chainlink in various other systems. Those news then pump up the price. But the long-term chart is pretty clear. Since the peak in August of 2020 to today, Link underperformed Bitcoin by 90%. Most altcoins underperform Bitcoin most of the time, and so it makes sense to bet on falling prices, especially during market phases like this. Now this chart, which is Link relative to Ethereum, tells us an even more convincing story. Link is now expensive relative to Ethereum, and it did correct several times quite significantly from the current level, by 50%, potentially even 60%. But that then begs the question, will Link go down in US dollars or will Ethereum just rally? I think there's a good chance that it's actually Ethereum that's going to rally from here. It's not a very popular stance, but Ethereum is extremely cheap right now. Check out the Ethereum dominance chart. So this is a very long-term chart. It starts in 2017, and we are now exactly at the bottom levels that we saw in September of 2019. And in the past, we saw a very nice rally of Ethereum of more than 200% versus the rest of the market. Is this going to repeat? I don't know, but there is somewhat of a chance that some people might fish for that bottom. And that could then lead to Ethereum outperforming Link or Link underperforming ETH. I do like to bet on falling prices of altcoins right now, but I'm not sure if Chainlink is actually the best candidate right now. Yes, the relative valuation chart to Ethereum tells us otherwise, but have a look at the Link dominance. So how much of all of crypto is currently in Chainlink? And this seems to be quite depressed already. Do we really want to bet on falling prices of Chainlink if Link could outperform the rest of the market by 100% from here? I'm not so sure. I try to find tokens that have even higher token inflation and that tend to underperform even more consistently, or that have pumped a lot and are now continuing to deflate again. For example, have a look at the Balancer relative to Bitcoin. This continues to underperform much more consistently. There's way less volatility to the upside, or in other words, way less risk. I'm discussing betting on falling altcoins for quite a while already. Since Bitcoin hit 100K, the community tends to bet on falling prices. And that's the reason why the community members make trades like this, right? So this has been shared within the community. People are now printing money just by betting on falling prices. So it's not necessarily always about fishing for bottoms. It's more about betting on the general macro environment. And while Chainlink might be somewhat expensive relative to Ethereum, In the overall market, measured in dominance, it's pretty cheap, and so betting on other altcoins falling is probably the better option. But yeah, I know how most people are not going to do this, right? Most people are scared of betting on falling prices because there are all these horror stories, right? Of getting liquidated, of losing all the funds. But really, if you know how to do proper risk management, if you bet on the right altcoins as well, and you just grow your capital steadily over time in this bear market, I think this is actually a time of opportunity. Again, most altcoins underperform Bitcoin most of the time. We've got the odds on our side. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. I've reduced the monthly rate because so many people got burned during this bear market. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. Yes, I believe that betting on falling prices in this market makes a lot of sense, but Chainlink is probably not the best option right now. It's simply too volatile and it's already quite low on its trading range relative to other altcoins. If it's your first time over here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time here on YouTube or see you in premium. The link is down below. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. Cheers.